JavaScript. I'm not going to teach you everything about JavaScript, just the basics to get your foot in the door to learn more. First, what is JavaScript? Dynamic programming language. It means it's not as strict. You can make more errors with it and it'll be fine. It's interpreted, not compiled. Pretty much it runs all at once without having to be translated to another language. It can support object-oriented programming, imperative programming, and functional programming. And most importantly, the one that I use it for the most, just like in this little website I'm making, JavaScript is what makes websites interactive. You can manipulate the HTML and CSS dynamically. You could develop also backend, games, animations, visuals, DOM manipulation, and event-driven programming, like clicking a button. A little bit more advanced stuff are frameworks. For front end, you have React, Vue, Angular, which uses JavaScript, and you have backend, which uses Node.js. So first, how do you actually get onto the JavaScript programming? Right here, whatever code you use, whatever coding software you use, I use VS Code. Yep. Add a new file, call this whatever name you want, .js, or for JavaScript, I'll turn it into a JavaScript file, and you could open a new one here. The way to add it to your website is in this head tag here. You add a script. So script source equals the name of the file, and then defer. You should always put this attribute in your script tag because it'll mean that your JavaScript loads at the same time with your HTML. It won't load after it. It's just better for optimization. These three, console.log. If I go to my website here, right click, inspect. First of all, elements top here, all the HTML stuff. If you click the console here, that's where it'll say hello world. Because put console.log, this is console. Yeah. Now, some simple DOM manipulation. DOM stands for Document Object Model. This is the main way that your JavaScript will interact with your website. This let is a keyword to make a variable. This title, the name of the variable. But this is the most important part. Document.get element by ID. Dot get. You could get elements by ID, the class name, tag name, a bunch of other stuff. But what this does is it'll look into your HTML. I set it for ID, so it'll look for an ID that has the title name, which is, where is it? Here, ID of title. So this whole thing is attached to this variable. This piece of code, oh, by the way, if you do 2 dashes, that turns into a comma, or not comma, turn into a comment. Slash asterisk and asterisk slash is a multi-line comment. But here we go. Title, again, same variable, which this is this here. Dot inner HTML equals test. I'm changing the inner HTML, which is this, to what I want it to be. So I save, and then boom, it changes. That's just some very simple way to do DOM manipulation. You could do the same thing with when you click a button, if you hover something, if you scroll a certain amount. There's so many ways to manipulate a website. But that's just, simple stuff. Okay, now on to data types. We have what I already showed you, string, anything in these double quotations or single quotations, also a string. We have number. It could be any number you could think of. Decimals, fractions, anything. It's a number, it's a number. Boolean, true, false. Undefined. And we have null. So, difference between these two, undefined means there is nothing. Null is an empty placeholder that has nothing at the moment. Undefined means there's literally nothing there. It's not a thing. Null is it's a placement for something that at the moment is nothing, but it could be changed. Undefined can't be changed. Object, which is very useful to know. I will not be getting into that in this video. I will have a separate video that will go over some very common practices of JavaScript. Essentially a part 2 of this. Last one we have is not a number. Nan. So simple way, like 12 divided by 0. Like anything divided by 0 is going to be undefined, not a number. It's not physically possible to do. For variables, I use let up here. The 3 ways to create variables are let, var, and const. Let and var are similar. The only difference is scope. That's a bit advanced. Just for all intents and purposes, don't use var. Just always use let. Const stands for constant. It's a variable that cannot change, even if you set it something else like test equals to that. This will not work. It'll still be 10. Arithmetic. We have plus, minus, multiplication, the asterisk, division. Double asterisk is exponential. So 3 double asterisk 3 times 3 times 3. So 9 times 3 is 27. Yes. Exponential. We have modulus, which is the remainder. 15 modulus 4. So 4 goes into 15 3 times. 4, 8, 12. And it'll have 3 remainder, because 15 minus 12 is 3. So the answer to this will be 3. This is usually a way to find out something's even. It's like modulus 2 will get you a 1, which will mean it's odd. Also have plus plus, which just adds 1, and minus minus, which subtracts 1. Now for some comparisons. So equals equals. So 10 equals 12. This one will be false, because they're not equal to each other. 12 as a string equals 12 will be true, because double equals is a loose comparison. It's the code assuming if this 12, you're thinking of it as the same one. If you use a triple equals, that's a very strict comparison. They have to be exact. So this will be false, because this is a number, this is a string. They're not the exact same, even though they both say 12. So we have, I forgot to put this up here. Plus equals and minus equals. Actually, you could do this for any of them. You do times equals or divide equals. Just another way to do math. You have greater than, less than, greater than, equal to. What the heck did I just do? Less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, greater than. You have logical operators. If it's true or false, this will equal to true, because or means one or the other. Has to be correct in order to do it. You have and, which will be false, because for and, both of these have to be true for it to go through. And you have not, which is if you time something by -1, you do the opposite. Exclamation point is the opposite. So inside here, this will be false, because you have false there. So you could simplify this to just being false, but exclamation point false turns this into true. Okay, last thing to teach you about is type conversion. Let's say you want to turn a string to a number. You could do number and whatever's inside. So 12, this will turn it into 12. Again, these are functions that you could look up. Very simple. I'm just teaching you that this is a possibility in JavaScript, that you could change types. You have the other way around. Parse float, parse int for integers here. Same thing, another way of doing it. And to turn a number to a string, you have toString. toString 15, which will give you 15 as a string. There are ways to do this. I just want to let you know that this is possible to do. This is to just kind of get your feet wet with the variety that JavaScript has to offer you and the ease that JavaScript is from different languages. Oh, also let's get rid of all of this. Console.log. I told you about this in the beginning, that you could do front end and back end. Here, let me show you in my console here. Node script.js, and there. It pasted out the code that I have up here. So in Node.js, you could use it in your code editor in the terminal to have a one-way connection with your code instead of doing it on the website. Well, yeah, that was some simple JavaScript basics. Thank you for watching. I will follow up this video with a more in-depth part 2 look at what JavaScript has to offer. Until then, I will see you next time.